Do I have everybody's attention now?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What's popping, people? Welcome to ZeerTalks Wrestling and welcome to the January 12th edition of Monday Night Raw, which actually took place in Dusseldorf. However, I could not do a watch along this time because I had the Hilal game going on and I had Bear shows. Hopefully, on SmackDown, there's nothing going on and I can, or by Friday, I should say, for SmackDown, there's nothing going on and I can do the SmackDown that they're doing, I believe, in London or somewhere in the UK. I don't know where. And same applies with Monday Night Raw. So just wanted to keep you guys updated and on that note. But yeah, listen, we will be back for weekly promo class later. Jester and I already set the stream up, so you should be available. Just go there, slap the like, subscribe. You should also slap the like and subscribe here. Yeah, don't be frauds. Slap the like and subscribe, please. Helps the algorithms. Press the alarm bells. Go check socials, and hopefully you're good wherever you are. Go check ZeerTalks FCB if you are interested in Bayern content, Bayern München content. I am a Bayern fan at the end of the day. Funny enough that the show was in Germany. You know, and if you're interested in football content, ZeerTalks Football is there as well. So please go check that out. Now, I thought we begin with Monday Night Raw, and it kicked off with Rhea Ripley. Rhea Bloody Ripley and Io Sky. And they were talking about how they want to, fight against, they want challengers to challenge them for the championship. And then you had Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. And Liv Morgan was the one really chatting. She was basically saying that, well, the greatest tag team ever never lost a tag team championship because obviously Liv Morgan got injured in her shoulder when she was champions with Raquel. And guess what? Um, I mean, technically by that she means she personally didn't lose it. However, Bailey, when she eventually does interrupt, she does bring up the point that Roxanne lost the championship when she took over the title off Liv Morgan when she left due to injury. So, yeah, that was a good line. But by the way, it was like, hey, Bailey, who? Ah, I want to know, will you be my girl? Chant. So, I actually like that chant. Big up to Bailey, by the way. So, yeah, obviously, they then interrupted, and obviously, not Liv Morgan, Lyra Valkyria on social media has been talking about how they deserve a championship opportunity and all that stuff. So, hey, listen, did they get it yet? No, because obviously later on there was a whole triple threat tag team match between the two tag teams I mentioned and the Kabuki Warriors. Now, the Kabuki Warriors, they basically caused the scene because they decided to attack the current tag team champions. And then there was a whole brawl going on. And Io Sky and Rhea Ripley stood on top. Typical brawl, whatever. Sets up the tag team number one contendership match, and we move. And I'll talk about that match in a bit. We then move on to what was the match? We then move on to Javon Evans against Bravo Americano. Now it's, I believe, is it Pete Dunne or Tyler Bate? Man, one of the it's two of them, and Ludwig Kaiser is El Grande Americano. But Javon Evans is now a new Monday Night Raw competitor as he signed the contract last week, and he had a good showing, man. You know, and he was moving bouncy. Word to him, you get me? Pause. But yeah, he was moving crazy. And he got the dubs. And then obviously they tried attacking him, but obviously, man with his bouncy techniques, pause, um, decided to find ways in which he gets to escape all of them. So fair enough. I mean, listen, it was not really it was kind of a nothing match. It's more of just get Javon Evans going. So that's the only positive I can get out of that one. You know what I mean? But then, yeah, and I'm trying to go quickly here. We then move on to now. Was a good segment in my opinion. I thought this segment was brilliant. Yeah, and I didn't address it in the title, but that's because if I don't have much space to do so. But and I did put it in the promo class one, so it evens out. But Finn Balor challenging CM Punk to World Heavyweight Championship gold. Now, what happened on that show, and I actually like it. So Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez goes backstage. They go to their clubhouse. And as they go to their clubhouse, excuse me, she's questioning Finn Balor. She's like, "You're saying you're gonna go after gold in this new year and blah 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 blah. You're gonna carry the Judgment Day, but you're not really doing that because all you're doing is you're playing games, right? That's all he was doing. He was playing 2K. Yeah, my man was playing 2K25. Yeah. So then she's like, what you should be doing is you should be going out there and go taking gold. Yeah, just like they are. That's what she said. Yeah, and then she leaves, and then Roxanne tells him she has a point. And now Finn Balor's like, all right, cool. Say no more. Long story short, I don't remember the terms exactly. I think he's like, I'll show you, or something like that. So he goes eventually and challenges CM Punk while CM Punk greets Berlin and talks about how the vision is in the rear view mirror and how he wants to challenge somebody else. Finn Balor pulls up, shockingly, and Finn Balor talks about how Finn Balor is one of the names being mentioned in the list of Punk's opponents that he would like to have. So Punk was like, yeah. However, your ambition has not been there. And he's right. Finn Balor's ambition, I mean, the way Triple H books him, to be honest, not like Triple H is the one booking. But Triple H has booked him to a way in which he looks like he has no ambition. So now Punk used that against him. And guess what? Finn Balor said that he is the line. You get me? And he wants to show why he can do the job. And Punk said, you know what, I stick to my promises. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go get dressed up, ring gear and all. And we're going to fight tonight. Finn Balor said, nah. Yeah. The line starts with me. And check your calendars. We're going to Belfast. So, which is his homeland. I don't know if it's really his homeland. Becky said the same thing because last I checked, correct me if I'm wrong, Northern Ireland and Ireland are two different countries. But then again, I mean, I think they're talking about the same region. Maybe that's why. But I just had to point that out there. But I mean, whatever. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Finn Balor, CM Punk. Yeah, next week, Belfast. If I can do the watch along, I will be there. Yeah. Now, let's talk. And by the way, before I move on, I actually am intrigued to know, is he going to be the demon? Because he did say he has somebody backing him. Or he has backup. Is it the Judgment Day? Or is it the demon? I'm intrigued. I'm actually intrigued. Yeah. Then, let's move on to I think it was that tag team match. Yes. Pretty decent match. I can't lie. I thought Bailey had a good showing. I have to admit, man, Liv Morgan did have a good showing. There was a lot going on, and Liv Morgan pounced. You know what I mean? So, but there was one instance as well. They did like this whole. Who was it? So it was Roxanne and Liv Morgan doing the power bomb, while Bailey and Lyra did the superplex, and Kairi Sane was the sacrificial lamb. Regardless, I have to say, I thought that was a pretty decent match. I also do have to say the German fans are really on it for a lot of this show. Yeah, I want to learn some of their chants because I am a Bayern fan, so it'd be nice to know some German. You know what I mean? So it was cool, man. It was cool. And Liv Morgan wins, and they're gonna fight at Saturday night's main event. Let's see how that pans out. Now, we then have Stephanie Vaquer. And I have to be honest, I am not a fan of this whole Vaquer getting injured. She goes out and Raquel attacks. Like, don't get it twisted. It makes Raquel look dominant. Cool. That is a positive. But isn't Stephanie Vaquer for real injured? I mean, I don't know. Like, because what I saw on social media, she looks like she's seriously injured. I wouldn't want to sacrifice her like that. Like, I generally think Triple H needs to be very, very careful with Stephanie because now they won't have her as champion for long. Like, it's an injury is an injury at the end of the day. You get me? So, yeah, that's the negative for me. The feud in general, listen, it's good for Raquel, but I don't know if the feud is what I'm looking for. But then again, the Raw division is very weak. So, at least for the women's side, because it's majority dominated in the women's tag teams division scene. So that's what it is. But hey, at least we're getting something. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, basically Stephanie Vaquer was like, "Well, nobody's gonna stop me. This injury is not gonna stop me. I'm still gonna be keep on fighting." Next thing you know, Raquel attacks her, pulls up, uh, and they're trying to separate the two before anything happens. And Stephanie Vaquer, like an idiot, stares at the camera and starts chatting, crap to Raquel. And next thing you know, Raquel attacks her and attacks her with the championship on her foot. So, ugh, yeah, this is what I'm on about. But then the craziness happens. Yeah, the crazy madness happens. Guys, forget about Penta and Dragon Lee against Bronson Reed and Austin Theory. Even though it was okay, nothing special. I need to talk about this Bron Breakker MFR, bro. Oof, oof, oof. I need to talk about that brother. That brother, bro, ran from the stage all the way to ringside. Bro, you would think he was Kylian Mbappe the way he was running, or Alfonso Davies. I'm not joking. You would think he's you. Actually, I'll do you one, but you would think he's Usain Bolt the way he ran. It's ridiculous, bro. Yeah, and then spears the living fuck out of Dragon Lee. Yeah, and then he starts attacking what's his name? Penta as well. I think he gave him a spear. Yeah. And now he's trying to go for a spear on Dragon Lee on ringside area. But guess what? Piers Morgan, which by the way, backstage did say to Paul Heyman, he does not want Bron Breakker being anywhere near because he's not in a good mood. Yeah. And he knew that Bron Breakker was going to do a madness. It's just when you see him, tell him to get out of here. Yeah. Which Paul Heyman didn't do. But anyway, besides the point, Adam Pearce stopped Bron Breakker and told Bron Breakker that I told Paul Heyman to leave and whatever. Yeah, and he said it with some conviction. That to be fair, Adam Pearce always have conviction, but that conviction was something else. Yeah. And as he's chatting or arguing with Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, this guy, bro, he takes Penta, Logan, and Theory, and then the tsunami happens. Now, Adam Pearce is now saying the same thing he told Bron Breakker to Bronson Reed. And Bronson Reed chatting crap gives opening to Bron Breakker to spear Dragon Lee, who somehow was in the ring. And now Adam Pearce is pissed off at Bron Breakker. And man's like, I've had enough of this shit. Blah, 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 blah. And then as he's about to get closer to him, Bron Breakker just holds him with such conviction and pushes him over to the turnbuckle area. Yeah. And so, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All that stuff. And Paul Heyman, Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, they're all like, come on, calm down. Yeah. And then they obviously they're still arguing in the ring, and Bron Breakker says, kiss my ass, blah, 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 blah. Now Bron Breakker goes all the way, walking away. So do the guys. Yeah. And then he and Paul Heyman chatting as they're walking away. And it's like, I told you, blah, 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 blah. Paul Heyman's like, I'll do it, blah, blah, I'm sorry, blah. And Logan Paul's like, please don't do it. He's going to kill you. He's going to kill you. Well, when Logan said that was jokes, bro. The way Logan says things sometimes, I have to admit, is funny. Yeah. But then it goes to backstage and they're still arguing. And Pearce is like, you want to put your hands on me? Guess what? You're suspended indefinitely. Yeah. And he said with such conviction, spit came out of his mouth. Pause. Damn. Yeah. And then Paul Heyman said that was a big mistake. And Pearce is like, you're damn right, it's a big mistake. And he's like, well, look what you done, blah, blah, blah. And it's all your fault. Man blamed Paul Heyman, but then Paul Heyman, no, he doesn't mean him, Bron Breakker. He means you, Adam Pearce. He means you, Adam Pearce. Yeah. And he's saying, respectfully, sir, you put your hands on Bron Breakker first. And he's not lying. Tell me when he's saying lies. This is why Paul Heyman is the greatest manager to ever live in this business. Because he just knows what to say and when to say it and how to say it. I mean, the master manipulator. Yeah. Paul Heyman. It is what it is, man. W. Paul. You get what I'm saying? And then we get to the main event, and AJ Styles beforehand, by the way, in the beginning of the show was like, he was taught a thing or two about respect. Yeah. And he told Gunther basically that he'll make Gunther tap out like a bitch and teach him a thing or two about respect. So we get to the match. A very entertaining match. I thought Gunther was dominating the hell out of him though initially, but then obviously AJ brought hella offense. And there was hella calf crushers, hella sleep. I mean, I don't know if there was hella sleepers, but there was hella calf crushers because AJ did try to get him to tap out. And Gunther did tap out, funny enough, yeah, in the end. But Gunther's a genius because what this guy did again. Listen, Gunther, my G, bro. See, Gunther's my G, bro, because he's a genius. Yeah, he's a don. Yeah, we're gonna put this out over here. Yeah, this genius, mashallah alayh. What he decided to do, he tapped out on this rear view of the referee, meaning the referee could not see it. However, I cannot say mashallah because he tapped out on his AJ's bum. Astaghfirullah. Now I think about it. But astaghfirullah. But anyway, taps out there. Regardless, it happened. And AJ starts thinking that Gunther tapped out, but the referee doesn't want to blow the whistle. And AJ is annoyed. What does the referee say to the ring announcer? Forgot her name. Yeah. Now AJ goes to Gunther and Gunther low blows him while the referee doesn't see. Powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. That's what happened. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's about it. Gunther, the Austrian Don, has basically won against AJ Styles early doors. So, yeah, what happens? I don't think this feud is over, though, because AJ can say, oh, well, I made him tap out. Why didn't the referee see it? So there's going to be a story to tell. I don't know if they fight at Mania or not, but I guess we'll see. But anyway, that's about it from me. Out of 10, So what's something I didn't like the Vaquer stuff, I can't lie. I thought the Javon Evans stuff was nothing match, really. The tag team championship scene will be interesting for the women. Yeah. By the way, I forgot to mention one more thing. That Becky promo was shameless. That segment, that vignette she done, that was shameless. And Maxine Dupree saying she's gonna break her ankle. And she said it with such conviction, but she ain't gonna do that. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. And then obviously Otis and Tozawa, because of her saying they need to believe themselves, went to Jey Uso and said, need to challenge. So, yeah. Yeah. Listen. I mean, to be honest, am I prepared to see Otis and Tozawa do something? No. What do I... The Becky promo was shameless. It's funny. Maxine Dupree, her response, I think, to be fair, she showed conviction, but it's just, I don't know if it's believable. Personally, in my opinion, I get that she's improved, but let's be honest, Becky's going to retain. Yeah, in Belfast. And I don't know. I feel like the opening segment, we could have got a little more. I'm not going to lie. I think the opening segment, we could have got a little more out of it, personally. Like, we got a brawl, cool, but could have got a little more out of that. Good lines though. The Finn Balor Punk stuff great. Bron Breakker stuff great. Gunther and AJ great. I'll give it a 4. I'll be generous. I'll give it a 4. But I have to admit, these shows lately have been improved, and we have to give them credit where it's due. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'm gonna end it here, guys. You know exactly what to do. Subscribe. Go check socials. You know what I mean? Like, comment your way. And inshallah, you're good wherever you are. Go check ZeerTalks Football and ZeerTalks FCB. And yeah, until then, take care. Peace.